is World News Tonight with Max Robinson in Chicago, Peter Jennings in London, who is on assignment tonight, Barbara Walter, special reports, and from Washington, Frank Reynolds.
Good evening. December 17th was the deadline date agreed to at Camp David for the conclusion of an Egyptian-Israeli peace treaty. Now, with the talks deadlocked, the chances of that happening are not considered very good. But President Carter today made it clear he believes that date is still very important. And once again, Mr. Carter openly expressed his disappointment with what has happened since Camp David. Here's a report from White House correspondent Sam Donaldson.
The president today challenged Egypt and Israel to conclude a peace treaty within the next 10 days, by December 17th, or risk having the whole effort fall apart. Mr. Carter told reporters, as he took this extremely hard-line view of the December 17th deadline set in the Camp David Accords, that a violation of the deadline would be a very serious matter, because he said it would cast doubt on whether the Egyptians and Israelis could carry out the difficult terms of the peace treaty itself. He said it would set a precedent of far-reaching adverse consequences. In other words, the president was putting it quite plainly that if they can't keep their word on the deadline, how can they be expected to keep their word on anything else? Tough talk, the kind designed to shock the parties off dead center, but the kind one can't easily take back if it doesn't work. But it was definitely no slip of the tongue. To Israeli Ambassador Simcha Dinitz, who paid a courtesy call on him a few minutes later, Mr. Carter repeated his contention that the deadline is a solemn obligation to be met. Dinitz tried to be diplomatic about it to reporters, but couldn't bring himself to agree that things might begin to unravel if it isn't.
I do not know whether I would go to that extreme. I would hope not. But I definitely share the view of the president that every effort should be done to conclude it according to the date that we have all agreed.
When you say it takes two to make peace, you seem to be saying that it is Egypt that is blocking this speedy resolution of the problem.
I did not say this because I do not want to start a campaign of accusations at the time that we are trying to negotiate and resolve the dispute. But I can only tell you it's not Israel.
Israel blames Egypt, Egypt blames Israel, and President Carter now blames them both. It will be an interesting 10 days. Sam Donaldson, ABC News, the White House.
Our Cairo correspondent, Doreen Kays, reports no optimism in Egypt about meeting the December 17th deadline. Furthermore, she reports that President Sadat and other high officials now believe the American position on the peace talks is, from their point of view, negative. They will tell Secretary of State Vance this Sunday that they also believe another summit meeting involving President Carter may be necessary to break the deadlock. The president also indicated today some doubt about whether the Shah of Iran can survive the current turmoil in his country. And the State Department announced the government will pay the plane fare of dependents of U.S. officials who wish to leave Iran. It was stressed, however, that no general evacuation has yet been ordered. The president told reporters today that he would like to have Soviet President Brezhnev come to this country for 4 or 5 days to talk about a number of matters. And he said he believes the remaining differences over a new SALT treaty are minor. The president will discuss those SALT negotiations and other topics with the leaders of France, West Germany, and Britain during a 2-day meeting on the island of Guadeloupe starting January 5th.
World News Tonight, brought to you by Complete. Brush your dentures clean every day with Complete. Complete gives plaque the brush off.
I make dentures, and I wear them, but I don't clean mine the way you do. I know tablets can't remove most plaque. What does? New Complete. A new cleanser that gives plaque the brush off. Tablets work on surface stains, but ultraviolet light shows most plaque remains. New Complete removes most plaque. Your mouth feels minty fresh, cleaner. Use Complete every day. New Minty Fresh Complete gives plaque the brush off.
Here's a recipe you'll never want to try. Take a cup of nuts, add a tablespoon of tacks, some ball bearings, stir, and this still doesn't hurt the nonstick performance of Silverstone. Because Silverstone is the most durable nonstick surface ever developed by DuPont.